Hi everyone, welcome to In the Car 9. It's me Praveen and this is Jan. So our first video for 2020 was a very good success, I would say, Jan, because we got a lot of views in the first 1 hour of we posting the video. So which is a very good, happy movement for us.
We
And
should thank all the viewers.
of course, thank you all of you guys for helping us come through this journey. And
Yeah.
we reached our first 100 subscribers of the channel. So
Yeah.
first small little milestone which is appreciated even by Google. So anyways. but the good question which came out as a thought process of what we did in the last video is people started to ask, what does it mean by decentralization?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by when you say power is getting decentralized, everything is getting decentralized? What does it really mean?
Yeah.
And is there a model behind how things can get decentralized? This is what they were asking. So we thought for the clarity of a lot of things coming together in the spectrum of what could decentralization mean for us is what we thought we could do as a video today,
Yeah.
which basically lays the plan for how can you decentralize some things.
Yeah.
And that is what we try to describe today, hopefully in our own terms. So this is our secret sauce or our formula of how the business model of decentralization could look like.
So more than the model,
Yeah.
actually what we are trying to work upon is we have studied a few systems which are decentralized.
Correct.
And we have started seeing what are the patterns in which these decentralized systems are behaving.
Yeah.
Probably just to start, this is our special new board where we want to start explaining things. To first of all decentralize any system, the first phase is actually deconstruct. Now, what we mean by deconstruct is break a large system into its component pieces. For example, decentralization of home
Okay.
is go down to the component piece of what is it that you want to decentralize. For example, power
Correct.
or electricity.
So the service which you consume centrally could be decentralized.
Exactly.
That's the deconstruction.
That's the deconstruction.
Okay.
That's the first step. Say, for example, in a car, what are the basic elements of a car? It's the engine, the storage, and the seating.
Correct.
The rest of it is all associated either to the engine or to the storage or to the seating. So
Absolutely.
the fundamental units you have to deconstruct into. Once you have deconstructed, you move to optimizing each of those units. Now, what do we mean by optimizing is take electricity, see how you can actually generate it in a much more optimal way.
Absolutely.
Take an engine, see how you can bring power in a much more optimal way. Take storage, how can you bring storage in a much more optimal way. Once you have optimized it, that doesn't stop there, because today's cycles are, yes, they do take an engine and they optimize it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they again deconstruct it one more time, they optimize it better, no doubt.
Which is done mainly by the central
Governing
biggies,
companies,
right? Governing
right?
companies, yeah.
This is where decentralization happens. Once you have optimized it, you democratize it, you share it. So when you know how to generate electricity and you have optimized it, give that to others. Share your electricity that you have generated, share the storage that you have generated, share the know-how of how you are generating that electricity, for example. And come back to deconstruct, and again, this loop continues. So if you really think about how the next decade is going to behave, it's going to behave in this loop, and the next set of new ideas, new innovations, new companies, and this is the pattern that we think is going to work in the next one decade, is those people who know how to deconstruct, how to optimize, and how to bring in a sharing aspect or a democratization aspect of what they have optimized, and continue this loop again and again and again, starts working better.
And this kind of makes it more sustainable also, right, Jan? Because you're bringing this aspect of sharing and not really hooking onto some central entity.
Exactly.
Which means you are trying to circulate within the own, let's say,
boundaries
or communities of your own sorts, right? Which will make it more sustainable for the future.
Exactly.
So basically, you're also in a way off the grid from the central systems.
Absolutely. I mean, just to give a very small example, as what we were speaking just before we started the video, is if you take a home, and if you take, say, for example, food production, you take that one element and you deconstruct what is that
That you
one
want.
element.
Mhm.
So you want food production. Now, how do you optimize food production?
Correct.
There are different ways. One is you're believing in a central system that it's organic. But if you want to optimize organic food production, what is it that you do? You figure out your own compost.
Correct.
You figure out your own soil conditions, your own weather conditions, and things like that.
Mhm.
Once you optimize that, you're sharing that and democratizing that. Now, what we mean by that is obviously you're going to have excess produce. What are you going to do with that excess produce? I'm going to share the next cauliflower or the next broccoli that I get with him.
Yeah.
And in return, he's sharing something else. Maybe he's taking all his compost of his house, the wet waste,
And
and
then
giving
giving
it
it
to
to you.
me to generate compost, which kind of feeds into this cycle again and again. Now imagine if you're doing this just across 2 streets.
Yeah.
We don't need larger and larger communities. We just need small little communities, and they figure out this model, and they are running this model
Absolutely.
in terms of power generation, food generation, waste management, whatever it is, including transportation. We're already doing it in our own little ways. Say, for example, we carpool, or we share recipes and things like that. But the next business model is somebody who creates this platform with this approach and allows 2 street worth communities to be on that platform to make this happen.
Absolutely.
This is the core belief that we have, and the platform could be software based, the platform could be any other approach based, but
Absolutely.
this is the platform that we are talking about, and these are the components of the platform.
And also, what's interesting is, in the past, I think the medium for all these things to work was money
Yeah.
as one of the entities, right?
Yes.
But now, like you said, it could be anything.
Yes.
It could be that I'm sharing, like you said, the compost and I'm getting back the cauliflower, which is also a great thing because now the medium does not restrict yourself to have a money based transaction,
Yes.
but it could be different kinds of items based transaction,
Absolutely.
which could make it much more, let's say, sustainable and better for us to live together and be happy.
Absolutely. Like how you were saying yesterday, if I had to transfer money to you,
Yeah,
go through the same loop,
absolutely.
and then you figure ways and means out. Anyway, so the next set of videos is actually going to be following this principle, this platform, this componentization of what we have said. We take examples of different types of decentralizations that can happen in the next 1 decade and actually base it on this principle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With all walks of life. So
absolutely. So till next video, see you.
bye bye.
Bye bye.